Yolo Basin Foundation was founded in 1990 to assist in the establishment of the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area. Since then, our mission has grown to expand the public's appreciation and stewardship for wetlands and wildlife in the Yolo Basin through education and innovative partnerships. We're proud to serve our community with a variety of programs and outdoor educational experiences. Back in 1990, we started offering field trips to what would become the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area in order to educate the community and provide support for protecting the wetlands at the end of Puda Creek. We still offer public wetlands tours out to the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area today, and as well, we also offer tours to the City of Davis wetlands in partnership with the City of Davis. For students, we have a Discover the Flyway outdoor education program. Its goal is to provide a meaningful outdoor experience for students to facilitate learning about the agriculture, wetlands, and the wildlife here in our Central Valley. They start out here in the demonstration wetlands. They go through 4 different science and social studies based activities. After lunch, they get to borrow binoculars and a bird card, and we get to go out to a field trip to the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area where they get a time of discovery in nature. And for many of those students, this is their first time out in nature, so it's a really great experience for them. One program that I really enjoy is the California Duck Days Festival. It's a family-friendly annual wetlands and wildlife festival offered here at the demonstration wetlands. There's an exhibit hall of a bunch of local community organizations that have fun, hands-on activities for people of all ages. Kids can fish in the ponds out here, you can see baby ducklings, you can learn about duck calling, you can dissect an owl pellet, and much more. And there's also field trips and workshops for people of all ages. So you may have heard about the bats that live under the Yolo Causeway. If you want to learn more about them, we offer summertime bat talk and walks. It's a 45-minute presentation where you learn about bat natural history. And after the presentation, we carpool out to the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area, when we get to see the flyout of an estimated 250,000 Mexican free-tailed bats as they emerge for their nightly insect feast. It's a fun and enjoyable event for the whole family. Throughout the year, we offer an Explorer Series program. It's a program of science-based field trips and hands-on workshops for adults and for those who want to deepen their understanding of the nature around us. They're led by professionals and experienced naturalists and leaders in their field who love sharing their knowledge and experience with all of us. They're really interesting and I always learn a lot on those, and the proceeds of these events support our environmental education programs. We also offer a Flyway Night speaker series. It's a program that highlights conservation issues, wetlands and wildlife research, and natural history of Northern California. It's offered through 6 months of the year, and it's always an enjoyable experience. I always learn something new about our natural history of this area. More recently, we started offering our Discover the Wetlands summer camps. It's an enjoyable experience for kids throughout the summer to come out here to the wetlands and learn about wetlands and wildlife with hands-on activities. We've also started offering Wetlands Wagon, which is an in-school program where we bring wetlands into the classroom for students. All of these programs and events would not be possible without the help of our over 200 wonderful volunteers. This summer, as you know, many things have changed, and our staff and our volunteers have done an incredible job at transforming our programs into valuable and interactive virtual programs. Starting with summer camps, we were able to provide a box of summer camp materials to the students before the camp began, and they were able to sign into Zoom and do the activity, the science activity and experiment, and a craft each day virtually with the instructor here in the wetlands. When we couldn't hold our usual bat talk and walks this summer, we were able to transform them and offer a YOLO Bat Chat. You could sign into Zoom and see and learn about 3 species of local bats, and also ask all of your pressing bat questions. This fall, during this time of distance learning, we're offering our Discover the Flyway learning activities, both live and recorded in virtual formats. Students and teachers can sign in from their homes to meet an instructor or docent here in the wetlands to do a hands-on learning activity. The recorded learning activities are available for the teacher and student to use at any time that's convenient to them. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the programs and events that Yolo Basin Foundation has to offer. And I hope you'll join us out here in the wetlands soon. I think you'll find that spending time in nature is a fun and rewarding experience, and a great way to relax and center yourself away from the busyness of everyday life. If you want to learn more about our programs and to support us, you can go to yolobasin.org for more information. Thank you. Good evening. My name's Chelsea Martinez, and I'm the Executive Director of Yolo Basin Foundation. I want to welcome you to tonight's Bucks for Ducks event, a benefit for Yolo Basin Foundation. Tonight, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, and we're so glad that you could join us. Since the beginning, our mission has been to expand the public's appreciation and stewardship for the wetlands and wildlife in Yolo Basin through education and innovative partnerships. This year, as we all know, things have been really different. We've embraced this opportunity and this change to be able to provide virtual education events for people of all ages. We're really proud of what we've been able to accomplish and what we continue to do. Tonight, we have a really enjoyable evening planned for you. Yolo Basin Foundations means so much to each one of us. Many of you watching at home have been integral in creating a positive impact for the children and adults in our region. You've assisted in improving and sustaining our local wetlands, and you've probably enjoyed the wetlands a little bit yourself too. It's amazing what spending some time in the wetlands can do to relax and to rejuvenate us. So here's to an evening of fun and fundraising. I'd like to introduce you to tonight's MC, Lucas Frericks. Lucas joined the Yolo Basin Foundation Board of Directors in 2012, and we're honored to have him here tonight. So without further ado, here's Lucas.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Chelsea. You know, it's amazing that we actually are celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Yolo Basin Foundation and what progress the visionaries have made in helping children and adults and better understand and appreciate the natural world around them, and specifically the wetlands in their own backyard. You know, so many people drive across the Yolo Causeway every day from Davis to West Sacramento and back and forth, and yet they don't even know what lies beneath them. You know, the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area is truly an amazing place, and tonight we will hear from some key people who've helped and been involved since the very beginning. Our hope is that you will learn a few new things, and you'll help also support us in this fundraising gala, which will help to continue to support Yolo Basin Foundation's virtual education programs. So with that, I'd like to introduce you to my sidekick for this evening, Keith McLean. He's our auctioneer, and he is one of the nation's preeminent fundraising auctioneers. And since 1995, Keith has raised tens of millions of dollars for hundreds of charitable organizations from Honolulu all the way across the country to New York City. We think we'll find him lively and entertaining, and we're thrilled to have Keith with us this evening. So please welcome Keith McLean. Keith, glad to have you here, Keith.
Lucas, thank you so much. Lucas, great to see you, my friend. So glad to be here with you. My friends, good evening, and thank you for joining us virtually here tonight. My name is Keith McLean, KLM Auctions, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. You know, we're all kind of looking forward to being together in the room, you know, celebrating our 30th anniversary in person. But you know, sometimes the universe has other things in mind, but that's okay. We're just so grateful that each and every one of you has decided to join us virtually tonight. So we're about to get going, but in order to do that, you've done the first half, which is join us virtually. Now I need you to do the second half, which is to pull out your phone right now. We're going to be using what we call a two-screen solution to watch and bid. So you're going to be watching on your computer or your smart television, wherever you're watching, but we're going to be bidding and donating on our phones. So once again, if everyone could please grab your smartphone, and if you want to open a new internet window, again, open a new internet window, and it's really simple. If you haven't done so already, all you need to do is open a new internet window and go to bucksforducks.ggo.bid. Once again, that's bucksforducks.ggo.bid. Once you're there, just follow the very simple registration instructions, and then that'll get you into our home screen. Once you're in our home screen, you can always hit the hamburger, the 3 parallel lines in the upper left-hand corner, and that'll take you wherever you need to go. So bid high, bid often, donate high, donate often. I'll be back with you in just a second, and I'll turn it back over to Lucas.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Keith. Really appreciate that. So before we get going on the auction, just 30 years ago, Robin Kaleko had a dream. And her dream was to help create a local area where people could go to enjoy the outdoors and appreciate what open space does for the environment. And she made this dream a reality. She founded the Yolo Basin Foundation and led that community effort in establishing the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area. So we're going to hear from her now as she shares some of the highlights over the past 30 years.
Hello, my name is Robin Kaleko. I am the founding executive director of Yolo Basin Foundation, and I led the effort to create the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area beginning in 1989. Yolo Basin Foundation was incorporated in 1990 as the grassroots organization to support the creation of the wildlife area. It was a very complicated effort. There were a lot of people involved, and I had the privilege to pull it together. After participating in many studies and many meetings and even more phone calls, we were able to convince the State Department of Fish and Wildlife that it was a good idea to purchase property for the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area. The first purchase was 3,100 acres of fallow ag land out in the Yolo Bypass. So the next big purchase, which was really exciting, was the purchase of the Glide Tule Ranch in 2001. That was 12,000 acres of land adjacent to what was then the 3,500 Yolo Bypass acre wildlife area. Before you can restore wetlands, there are a lot of studies that have to be done, environmental documents, permits have to be earned from the various state and federal agency. And it was especially complicated because the Yolo Bypass is in the floodway. And the primary purpose of the bypass is to divert floodwater from the city of Sacramento into this bypass. The wildlife area is a mosaic of seasonal wetlands, semi-permanent wetlands, rice land, rangeland, and grassland, and small areas of riparian forest. Yolo Basin Foundation began as an outgrowth of this grassroots effort to create the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area. It became clear to me that this was going to be a long-term, complicated process, and the local people that wanted to create this wildlife area needed to get organized. So I worked with a lot of knowledgeable people. I had a lot of good mentors. I got the support of our Congressman, Vic Fazio, for which the area is named, the Board of Supervisors, and the city councils in Yolo County. And this was a huge group effort, but I had the privilege of forming Yolo Basin Foundation. We started with 2 volunteers, that grew to 4 volunteers, and now we have over 150 volunteers. The Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area opened to the public in winter of 1997. And that was a very exciting year. I had planned just a small grand opening celebration with local elected officials and friends and everybody who'd been involved. And one day, Ducks Unlimited, who had the contract to restore the wetlands, told me that President Clinton was going to attend our event. And of course, I thought they were teasing me. But lo and behold, the next day, the Secret Service showed up, and we spent a week getting ready for the president's visit. So on November 17th, 1997, our 800 people, most of whom I actually knew, showed up, went through security, and stood in parking lot C for hours because, of course, the president was late. I was asked to ride in one of the limousines at the beginning of the motorcade, and I had the privilege of giving the president a 20-minute birding tour. He was actually quite knowledgeable. The birds somehow knew what to do because we walked down a road starting at parking lot B, and 5 minutes into our walk, probably 1,000 northern pintail flew up, and you couldn't, it was spectacular. I love maps, I always have, and sometime in the late 90s, I was sitting at my desk at home, and I got a call from a man who said he was from AAA. He was in charge of updating the maps that we all use. So he told me that he'd heard about this new wildlife area, and he heard I was associated with it. So he asked me to send him a map so he could put the wildlife area officially on all the state maps. The first one it was on was the Central Valley map, and I still have that very first map. The first Discover the Flyway teacher workshop was also in 1997. A group of about 25 teachers were recruited from local school districts, and we back then, did a week-long workshop. Today we are standing at the YOLO demonstration wetlands. This is a 3-acre site associated with State Department of Fish and Wildlife's headquarters. Here is where Discover the Flyway field trips start for all the children that participate every year. This site back in 1997 was a construction site. It was just basically a big hole in the ground and very muddy. Some friends and I, we're standing there one day and decided, we should turn this into wetlands for the programs. So on the very hottest day of the year, it was over 110, it was in August, the Boy Scouts showed up at dawn, and we planted all 400 trees and shrubs that were originally here. I, of course, was worried that it was too hot and all the trees were going to die, but they didn't. Over 200 species of birds have been seen here. Otters use this place regularly. I remember the very first bird that showed up. It was a greater yellowlegs. Right as we started to flood up the wetlands, this bird must have been cruising around looking for water because it just landed right in front of us. Discover the Flyway started with 25 first graders from Pioneer School and has expanded to having served 74,000 students. Sometime in the mid-2000s, we started hearing rumors of a bat colony that lived in the expansion joints of the YOLO Causeway. The YOLO Causeway is Interstate 80, where it crosses over the YOLO bypass. At first, we just heard rumors, and then, as few staff, we went out with some scientists, and it didn't take much time before we realized there were tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of Mexican free-tailed bats flying out from the expansion joints in the bridge every evening at dusk. So of course, being the environmental educators that we decided that that would make a good field trip for families. YOLO Basin Foundation is well known throughout the region for having put together the partnerships that created the 16,800 acre YOLO bypass. What I am most proud about is the fact that those partnerships still exist today. Of course, our main partner is State Department of Fish and Wildlife because they own and manage this property. This summer, some important improvements to the crossings at the YOLO wildlife area were constructed, as well as 200 acres of new wetlands. And that project was possible through a partnership with YOLO County, Ducks Unlimited, State Department of Fish and Wildlife, YOLO Basin Foundation. YOLO Basin Foundation has been putting these partnerships together for 30 years. We've had a lot of success. Here's to the next 30 years.
Wow, what a wonderful story. Well, Robin, our thanks, sincere thanks to you for all of your tireless work over the past 30 years. The YOLO Basin Foundation wouldn't be what it is today without its wonderfully talented set of volunteers. And we hear time and time again that it's really the people that make the foundation so great. So now we're going to hear from two of our longtime volunteers, Rob Florkey and Dale Hoffman-Florkey. We'll see that video now.
Well, we've been here since the beginning. Here with the formation of the foundation, I was working for Fish and Wildlife at California Fish and Wildlife at the time. Even before that, I was active in Boy Scouts here in the Davis area, and when they built this demonstration wetlands that we're standing in, it was an Eagle Scout project of one of the boys in our troop. And we were busy for some very hot summertime days out here trenching. I ran the ditch witch to put in all the drip irrigation that's out here, and of course we did over 400 trees planting at this location. So Dale and I both were quite active in different events here at the wildlife area even before our retirements.
Together on weekends and evenings, sometimes we would be involved in leading field trips, assisting with field trips, and we're still doing that today.
It's quite inspiring and quite a legacy to have and watch it grow.
It's been rewarding just to see the evolving of this whole facility take place, and it obviously didn't happen overnight, but when the scouts came out here to build this demonstration wetlands,
It looked like that tomato field
like
over there.
that field. There was not a single tree out here. It was flat, it was dirty, it was dusty, and when we had Robin and some of the other staff kind of, you know, outlining what it was they wanted and where they wanted it, we would all look at these plans and say, really? You're going to have trees here and you're going to have water? It was just hard to imagine, and 30 years later, you would never know that, as Rob said, it looked like a tomato field. So one really great reason for volunteering is so that you can become educated and learn more about your natural environment. And when we talk with people, people ask us what we do in our spare time now that we're retired, and we tell them what we do. It's actually pretty easy to explain why this is a really fun thing to do as a volunteer, I believe.
And rewarding, very rewarding. I think they'll find that the friendships that they make here and the reaction of the people they're speaking with and how appreciative they are of volunteers taking their time to share with them information about the wildlife area, information about the foundation.
They educate thousands of children, school-age children, in the Sacramento region. The kids go on the field trips, they get really excited about what they learn out here, and then they bring that information home. And then they get their parents excited, and then they bring their parents out here on the weekends. And it's a really kind of a snowball effect that I think has been very effective.
Plants and animals of the wildlife area are very diverse and changes through the season. And so it was really informative to teach them about the plants and animals that are here seasonally. It changes through the year, and really recommended to everyone to come on out. The wildlife area is open 364 days a year, only closed on Christmas Day, and see the seasonal changes.
It's important to remember that the children of today are going to be making important environmental decisions in the future for all of us. And because of that, I think it's paramount that the Yolo Basin Foundation be able to continue to provide high-quality outdoor education to thousands of students in this region. Please come out and visit the Yolo Basin.
And please volunteer. Come on out to the foundation office, sign up, volunteer, lots of jobs for you. And also, don't forget to donate and help them with their funding. And please, please support the Yolo Basin Foundation.
Wow, well, as you could see from that video, it really is the people who make a difference for the Yolo Basin Foundation. So thank you so much, Rob and Dale. So now we have the honor of hearing from our current Congressman, John Garamendi, as well as our former Congressman, Vic Fazio, who've both been longtime supporters of the Yolo Basin Foundation and also who were integral in the establishment of the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area.
This is Congressman John Garamendi with a special shout out to the Yolo Basin Foundation. For 30 years, you have dedicated your organization to improving the environmental quality of the Yolo Basin. It's been agriculture, it's been a floodway, but over the last 30 years, it's been far more. It's been a habitat. It's been a habitat for waterfowl. I know this. I'm often stuck on the Yolo Basin Causeway in a traffic jam. I don't mind that in the fall and winter because I can just sit there in my car watching thousands upon thousands of waterfowl as they use the basin for their winter habitat. You've done that. You've also brought children, school children and adults to the basin so that they can learn about the environmental opportunities that exist in our area. You've educated them about being aware of what we as humans do to degrade the environment and what we as humans can do. If you have an organization like the Yolo Basin Foundation, what can be done to enhance the environment so that agriculture can flourish, and simultaneously so that all of the species that once inhabited this great Central Valley can also flourish. So here on your 30th anniversary, I want to congratulate you and tell you that over the years, so many of us, Vic Fazio specifically, and other leaders have made a difference. And so for all of you, congratulations. And 30 years, that's just the beginning. This is going to go on for another 30, for another 300. We're going to work together to improve the environment and the opportunities for everyone. My best to all of you. Congratulations on your 30th anniversary.
Congratulations to the Yolo Basin Foundation on your 30th anniversary. It's been a success from the beginning. Robin Kuleko and her friends had created an organization locally that ended up doing wonders to save our natural resources right in our own community, giving the children of our neighboring school districts all the opportunity for education, knowing more about their environment and the natural world that is in some cases quite far from them. Bringing all the agencies of state and federal government together, farmers, environmentalists, duck hunters, and birders, the Yolo Basin Foundation has been a great success. I'm very, very pleased to have been part of it over the many years that I have represented the area and since. It's just been, from my standpoint, one of the best things that I was ever involved in during my 20 plus years in Congress and public service. So to all of the folks gathered there virtually, sorry we can't all be together, please accept my best wishes and hopes for another 30 years as we continue to grow the wildlife area that has meant so much to our region.
We just don't want to be boring.
The artist will probably be All right, well, we are back now, and we are so honored to have both Congressman Garamendi and Congressman Fazio's strong support. So everyone, now is the time to open up your wallets and support the Yolo Basin Foundation. Now, this year's Fund a Need is like no other before. Teachers and parents must be really creative and flexible while educating our youth. And, as we well know, the students have had to adapt to distance learning, and of course they miss the interaction with their classmates. Yolo Basin Foundation's educators have done a remarkable job to help students learn and appreciate the nature around them, specifically in the wetlands. And the Discover the Flyway outdoor education program has two exciting opportunities. Students and their teachers can tune into a live or recorded virtual lesson about the environment, as well as teachers can pick up kits with supplies for the learning activities that students can do remotely in their classrooms. So numerous Yolo Basin Foundation programs also have a virtual aspect. The Foundation's BAT programs and summer camps have transformed into interactive virtual experiences. Our Flyway Night Speaker Series had its first ever virtual talk just last week. And the vision of our educators is endless, and we can't wait until we can do outdoor activities again once again in person. So tonight we're going to be raising funds for all of the virtual education programs the Foundation offers and would like to offer. And Keith, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Thank you so much, Lucas. So my friends, this is why we're here tonight. The mission of the Yolo Basin Foundation is to expand the public's appreciation and stewardship of the wetlands and wildlife in the Yolo Basin through education and innovative partnerships. But what we're really here to do is to create the next generation of environmental stewards, conservationists, and folks who care about the environment. And if we're lucky, we're even going to create some scientists too, biologists, water specialists, environmental engineers. Kids are not going to gain the appreciation for the environment without this kind of exposure, and that's what Yolo Basin Foundation does. So on that note, I'd like everyone to once again, please pull out your smartphone right here. If you don't have that already, if you went and put it away somewhere, go back and get it. Again, open up your smartphone and go into our software system. Go into the bucksforducks.ggo.bid. Again, if you've already registered, great. If you haven't registered, once again, just go to bucksforducks.ggo.bid. Follow the simple registration. I think there's a blue button at the top that says start or start here, something like that. You just click on that button. Once you're registered, it's really simple. There's another blue button at the top called Donate. So now's the time. I need everyone out there to please click on the blue Donate button. Or you could open another window on your computer, but it's a lot easier to do it on your smartphone. So let's do that. Open it up on your smartphone, hit the blue Donate button. Don't worry, you're not donating anything yet, but that'll take you to where you need to be. So once you're there, before we get started with that, I want to acknowledge a special thanks to Nancy and Walt Tyler for their generous donation for kicking us off. My friends, I'm going to start by asking for generous donations in the amount of $5,000, $2,500, $1,000, $500, $250, and all the way to $100 with the goal being that one of those amounts, one of those investments in the conservation and environmental stewardship education for our young people here in the greater Sacramento area is going to work for every person or every couple in this room. So on that note, I want to see if we have any true heroes, anybody who's really feeling it and wants to kick us off with an amazing starter donation in the amount of $5,000. Do we have any $5,000 donors here tonight? I can see we've already had a lot of bidding activity. Liliana's donated, Clark, Christine, Lewis, Margot, Tina, Teresa, Janet, Robert, Sherry, John. Folks, feel free to jump in at whatever level you want, but if $5,000 is the right level for you, boy, my friends, we could sure use that, so feel free to jump in. By the way, we're already, pre-auction, we've already raised over $14,000. Wow. Our goal tonight is we want to see if we can get to $25,000 or even $30,000 here tonight. I have a feeling we can get there. So if $5,000 is the right level, that'd take you there pretty quick, Lucas. So if you can get to the $5,000 level, jump right on in. But if $2,500 is a good level for you, my friends, jump right on in. Again, all you need to do is hit the blue Donate button once you're into our mobile optimized website here. Just hit the blue Donate button. You'll see all the different levels there you can donate, or you can create a custom level. Whatever works for you, that's fine. If $2,500 is the right level, jump on in at $2,500. Maybe $1,000 is the right level for you. My friends, $1,000 is one of my favorite levels because for not everybody, but for a lot of folks, it's a very accessible level. Again, I'm not an accountant, but every donation you make here tonight is 100% tax deductible. And so if you can donate, look at that. We're at the 14. Someone else just jumped in. Linda just jumped in. Thank you so much, Linda. Appreciate that. Again, my friends, if the $1,000 level is right for you, boy, we'd sure appreciate that. Again, we're doing so much. We're supporting wetlands and wildlife in the Yolo Basin through our virtual education programs. And in a nutshell, that's what we're doing. And your help is so critical and so valuable for us here tonight. So my friends, if $1,000 is the right level, the water's warm, as they say, jump on into the pool here. If $1,000 is right, jump on in with $1,000. Maybe $500 is a good level for you. My friends, if $500 is a good level, looks like we have Olita just donated there. Thank you so much, Olita. Appreciate that. If $500 is a good level, my friends, that's one of my favorite levels as well, because $500 donated by several people. They add up so quickly, but it's really not, hopefully for a lot of folks, it's not that big of a deal. You won't really miss it. So if you can part with $500, again, we're using your money very, very carefully on things you care deeply about surrounding conservation and outdoor education and environment education and all those wonderful things that to be honest, we just need our kids to concern themselves with. And kids don't learn this stuff accidentally. They don't learn it on their own. They learn it because it's taught to them, and that's exactly what Yolo Basin Foundation is doing here. So again, if $500 is a good level, jump on in. Maybe $250 is a good level for you. We always get a lot of donations at the $250 level. Again, my friends, this is why we're here. Arguably the most important part of our evening. If $250 is a good level, looks like Alita jumped in right there. Again, Linda, we've had people jumping in here. Again, now would be a great time to jump in at the $250 level. My friends, since 1990, over 74,000, and I'm not reading that wrong, 74,000 students have participated in just the Discover the Flyway Outdoor Education program alone. And that's one of our signature programs here. This year it's virtual, but that doesn't mean hands-off. Students can even dissect owl pellets with the supplies that the teachers obtain, of course, from Yolo Basin Foundation. So my friends, this is why we're here tonight. If $250 is the right level for you, jump on in at $250. Again, my friends, if you haven't logged on to our software, now's the time. You still have just a few minutes left to jump into our software. Again, bucksforducks.ggo.bid. Just follow the directions, and then you'll hit the blue donate button. That'll take you to our several levels at which you can donate. So again, if $250, look at that. It looks like Marge right there jumped in. Marge at the $1,000 level. Thanks, Marge. Appreciate that. Folks, we're just beat $15,000. Let's get it up to 20. Let's keep the donations moving here tonight. Again, we're at 15.5. Let's keep it. Let's get up to our next sub goal of $20,000. That's why we're here tonight, my friends. Again, pre-recorded lessons on topics such as wetland, plant identification, pond study, and more allow kids to see firsthand the treasures that are the wetlands, and that's why we're here tonight. So if $250 is a good level, look at that. Robin jumping in at $250. Thanks, Robin. If that's a good level for you, jump on in at $250, or maybe $100 is a good level for you. My friends, I'll bet a lot of you have a C note. You've got a Benjamin crumpled up in your pocket or maybe stuffed between your couch cushions or whatever. Don't leave it there. Bring it here to us tonight. Pick it up, wave it in the air, and say, I'm going to pledge this to Yolo Basin Foundation and to the kids who are going to learn, who benefit from these education programs that the Yolo Basin Foundation is providing. So that's why we're here tonight. If $1,000 is the right level, 1,000's great, 500, 250, 100, whatever amount is good for you. That's the amount that we're hoping that you'll find it in your heart to donate, my friends, here tonight. Look at that, Naomi coming in right there. Thank you so much, Naomi. Appreciate that. Or friends, maybe there's a custom level you want. I think we might even have a couple other buttons with different levels, $50, $25, whatever level works for you. Or there's a custom number. Maybe there's a number that's meaningful to you, my friends. Now would be a great time to jump in with one of those numbers. Again, it's so simple. bucksforducks.ggo.bid. Just follow the sign in, click the blue donate button. That'll take you to our donation screen, and it's really easy. David's jumped in with a donation right there, $250. Thanks, David. Appreciate that. Okay, we're just going to keep this going for about another minute or so. But my friends, we are doing really, really well. Look at that. We're north of $16,000 right there. Let's keep the bidding going for just another minute or so, and then we're going to jump into our live auction. My friends, again, the goal tonight is participation. We're hoping that everyone will feel it in their heart, will give this some thought and think about it and think what amount to donate here tonight to Yolo Basin Foundation is meaningful for you. Heidi just jumped in right there. Thanks so much, Heidi. All right, we're just going to give this a few more seconds. It's last call, my friends. Jump in. bucksforducks.ggo.bid will take you there. Again, you just follow the simple registration directions, hit the blue donate button at the top, and then you'll see, once you get back to the main menu screen, you'll see the blue donate button at the top, and that'll take you to all of our different levels. All right, my friends, look at that. Robert's jumped in. Leah's jumped in right there. Friends, again, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to keep this open till tomorrow night, till Sunday night, tomorrow night at 5 p.m. So again, let's keep the bids coming in. Let's keep the donations coming in. We're keeping this open, keeping this software platform open till 5 p.m. tomorrow night. But in the meantime, we got to keep this moving. Right. We've got a spirited 5-lot live auction item. Looks like, but I should say Dolores just jumped in at $500. Thanks, Dolores. Appreciate that. Again, keep bidding, my folks. We're already over 17 grand. I know we're going to clear north of 20 grand here in this portion of our evening tonight. So we're going to keep it open. In the meantime, I'm going to turn it back over to Lucas. We have a spirited 6-lot live auction item, live auction. Louis, what do you want to sell? What do you want to sell first, Lucas?
Well, thanks so much, Keith. So, as Keith mentioned, the donations for the Fund and Need are going to be open until 5 p.m. tomorrow. So keep donating there. And then, but in the meantime, before we go to our live auction, I just want to take a moment to actually thank and acknowledge some of our key sponsors of Bucks for Ducks this year. So special thanks goes out to our Pacific Flyway sponsors, Ecosystem Investment Partners, and Vic Fazio and Kathy Sawyer. We'd also love to give a shout out to our Wetlands Conservation and Wildlife sponsors. So Robin Kaleko and Bill Julian, Lindsay Ann Weston, John D. DeWitt Farms, HDR, GEI Consultants, Larson, Wurzel & Associates, MBK Engineers, and Nina Gordon. So thank you so much to our generous sponsors. And so what's up next, Keith?
That's absolutely right, folks. Again, we're keeping our Fund Need open. I just want to say it looks like Peter jumped in with $500. Thanks, Peter. Appreciate that. And again, my friends, this is why we're here tonight. So most importantly now, I want to make sure that everybody is on the software. Once again, if you haven't done it, I've said it a bunch of times before. If you haven't done it yet, go to bucksforducks.ggo.bid. You can open a separate window on your computer. Probably the easiest way is to just open a brand new internet window on your phone, bucksforducks.ggo.bid. Enter in your contact information, your registration information, and then once you're there, you want to hit there's a little hamburger up in the upper left-hand corner. It's the 3 parallel lines. That's the menu button in the upper left-hand corner. Just click on that. Let me do that, in fact. We'll get right there. You just click on that. That will take you, and I'm getting right there. I'm refreshing my screen right here. Once you click on the 3 parallel lines on top, then you just want to go to Categories and All. Once you go to Categories and All, that'll take you to the main menu page. Again, click the 3 parallel lines in the upper left-hand corner, Categories and All, and then you'll see our 6 live auction lots numbered 101 through 106 right there. So at this point, everybody please click on Painting YOLO Reflections right there, package 101. If you'll click on that, Lucas, why don't you tell us about it?
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Keith. So our first item is item number 101, entitled YOLO Reflections, and it's painted by John Nichols. So John was kind enough to paint and donate this painting specifically for this year's 30th anniversary for Bucks for Ducks. And you've probably seen this stunning painting on this year's promotional materials. It is a beauty. This 24 by 30 inch piece, painted with oil on canvas, is mounted on a wood floater frame John made himself. He believes that there's nothing more spectacular than the ever-changing sunrises and sunsets of the Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area, and you can definitely see why when you look at this painting. John lives in West Sacramento, and he enjoys the outdoors and painting places he loves to be. It would look great in an office or your wall at home, or many places in your home probably. This could be yours with the winning high bid. So Keith, you want to take it away?
Absolutely, Lucas. And look, apparently people are very familiar with John's work because we're going to start this at $300. We're already up to, looks like, $2,500. Wow. So again, looks like Dolores is our top bidder at $2,500. We're just going to keep this open for about a minute or so, my friends. So if you want to bid, now's the time. Bid high, bid often. So simple. Just do it on your phone. Really, really simple there. You'll just see the blue button at the top that says, it says donate $2,600. It says bid $2,600 right there. Again, if you want to outbid Dolores, my friends, we've had a lot of bidding here. Margie, John, Marge, John, Marge, John. Looks like Marge and John have been going back and forth, and then Dolores came in. So my friends, the bidding history is pretty spirited here. Joyce has been bidding. John's been bidding. My friends, if you want to take it away from Dolores, you got to come in at $2,600. But don't wait, my friends. We have about a 15 or 20 second delay. So I'm going to say sold. And then when I do say sold, you're not going to have that much time to bid again, and there might be a little delay there. So you don't want to wait. You want to get your bid in, just so you don't get caught in the little delay lag there. So again, we're at $2,500. I'm going to say going one time at $2,500. My friends, if you want to jump in, don't wait for the last call again. And by the way, if you want a max bid, you can always hit the bid more button, or when you hit the bid button right there, it'll ask if you want a max bid. Basically, what that'll do is it'll set the top bid at which you want to bid, but the software will only advance your bidding by $100 at a time as necessary. So it won't necessarily go to your top bid, but it will only if necessary if someone's bidding against you. So again, going one time at $2,500 to Dolores. I got to say, John and Joyce and everyone else, don't miss out on this one. It's going to be great. Going twice at $2,500. I'm going to say last call. I'm going to say sold it right there. Congratulations, we have a winner.
Nice.
We have a little delay here, so I'll see who the winner is in just a little bit. It's going to be right around that price, but someone's really going to enjoy that.
Oh, I happen to know Dolores, and I bet she has a couple of great places in her house just
Fantastic.
for this painting. So
if you had this, where would you put this if this was in your house?
Right over the mantle, no question. Beautiful, beautiful painting like this. Yes,
perfect for that. And I have a feeling you can light it kind of in different ways and make it look really special. So that's fantastic. All right, looks like we've had our winner there. Fantastic. Let's move on to the next live auction lot right here. And why don't you tell us about that one, Lucas?
Great, absolutely. So our next item is item 102. This stunning photograph taken by Louis Kemper could be yours for the right bid. It is entitled Comet Neowise over the Umbrella Barn, Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area, and it would look great in your home or office. It's a beautifully framed photo, and it measures 40 by 30 inches. It is quite a big photo, but it is beautiful. So Louis was excited to see this and photograph this comet on July 20th of this year. With permission from the Department of Fish and Wildlife, he was able to go out to the Thule Ranch in Yolo Bypass Wildlife Area, where he took this beautiful photograph that has the umbrella barn in the foreground. He's been photographing, the natural beauty of North America and its parklands for over 40 years. And he's been a longtime supporter of the Yolo Basin Foundation. And he's also married to Heidi Satter, our education coordinator for the foundation. So Louis really helps that you enjoy this photograph as much as he enjoyed taking it. And thank you so much, Louis, for your donation. It's beautiful.
That's absolutely right, Lucas. And again, Louis is largely recognized for his work by our group and nationally. Beautiful piece here. I remember that comet as well. We drove to El Dorado to try and see it, and we couldn't see it, which I was kind of bummed. We should have gone to YOLO.
Absolutely.
Look at that. Would have seen that. That would have been spectacular. I think it was once every 60 million years or something. I can't even remember, but long time coming. Anyway, obviously people love it. We've already had a $300 bid from Sharon and a $400 bid from David. Anybody else wants back in? It's just $500. Again, good sized piece here. You can see it. This is really kind of a signature piece. You're going to love it. We're at $400. If you want back in, it's got to be $500. Again, I think it's about 2 feet by 3 feet here. Beautiful, beautiful photograph, again, of a really special time. And the other thing is you'll be able to say that you lived through this. You were around when this comet was here, which is kind of an exciting thing. So we're at $400. What do you think, Sharon? You want back in at $500? Anybody else back in? $500. I'm at $400 right there. It's got to be $500 if you want back in. Again, we're at $400. Got to be $500 if you want back in. Again, folks, you can either hit the blue bid button. And by the way, let me just explain how to get there. Whether you're on your computer or your phone, you'll see the 3 parallel lines, the little hamburger in the upper left-hand corner right there. Just click on that and then go to Categories and All is the easiest way to do that. And then we're on number 102, Photograph, Comet, Neowise, is what we're at, over the umbrella barn. So that's where we are right now. It looks like we've got a couple more bids. Looks like Margie came back in. Margie came back in at $500, and then Olena's back in at $600. Folks, if you want back in, it is $700. We're at $600. It's got to be $700. I'm getting the sign that we got to wrap this up. Going one time at $600. My friends, it's got to be $700. If you want back in, it's got to be $700. We're at $600 right now. It's got to be $700. Beautiful framed piece. Gorgeous frame as well. It's going to show so well in your home or office, or many of us are home offices these days.
Absolutely.
So again, we're at $600. It's got to be $700. Going once, twice, third, and final call. And I'm going to say, sold it right there. Congratulations. We have a winner.
Yay,
Thank you so much. Our winner
Excellent.
for that one. And I'll see who that is in just a second. But again, you're going to love this piece. Again, were you able to see the comet when it came out?
Actually, yeah, we were out in the country a couple different times, not out in the bypass though, but in other parts of rural Yolo County, and it was so spectacular. It looked, actually, you could see it with the naked eye, but having binoculars really, really helped.
I'll bet,
This is stunning, a stunning photograph.
That's just amazing how he captured it. So fantastic. All right, looks like Olena looks like our winner there, so congratulations there. So let's move on to our third live auction lot.
Nice. So our next item up for bid is item 103, and if you enjoy a nice glass of wine in the evening, I mean, who doesn't, right? I mean, especially in a year like 2020, nice way to relax. This item auction is especially great for you. So enjoy 17 bottles of wine, now selected by the Yolo Basin Foundation's Board of Directors, and you can store them in this great Ivation 12-bottle compressor wine cooler refrigerator. It has digital controls. It can adjust the temperatures between 41 and 64 degrees Fahrenheit and keep your wine at an optimal price. The wine cooler has a black glass door and adjustable shelves, and the list of 17 bottles of wine can be found on the auction bidding site. It's actually valued at $900, so it's definitely worth your while. Yeah.
That's absolutely right, Lucas. Folks, a spectacular collection of wine right there. I can see that there. Thank you so much. 17 bottles with a spectacular wine fridge there. And again, some of these bottles are really, really nice, my friends. I was looking at the list. I saw a GoldenEye Pinot in there. I saw an Elevation 10 Cab in there. I saw a couple of really nice Italian wines. It's a nice, good selection. I think there might be a couple whites, but mostly reds.
Yeah, mostly
but it's
reds.
a really, really nice selection of wine. And again, people like wine. I can see that because we've already had a $300 bid from John and then a $400 bid from Alan. If anybody else wants back in, it's $500. Again, my friends, we're at half price right now. Jump on in. These are some spectacular wines too, Lucas. I saw some of them. They have the delicious flavors of boysenberry, sassafras, and ding dongs. No, I'm kidding. They don't have any of those flavors. These are really nice bottles of wine. Again, donated by our board. Most of them donated by board members.
That's
and stuff.
exactly right.
They're not going to donate the junk. They don't want to be on the hook for donating the stinky water here. They're donating the nice bottles of wine. That's what these are. Again, we're at $400. Plus, you get the wine fridge. If you want back in, it's just $500. Again, we're at $400. Got to be $500 if you want back in. So simple to bid. All you need to do is click on the blue $500 bid $500 button right there. And again, if you're looking at your phone wondering where to go, you can always just hit the 3 parallel lines in the upper left-hand corner, the hamburger there. You just click on that and then go to Categories and All is the easiest way to do it. And then we're on number 103, wine cooler and 17 bottles of wine. Hey there, looks like Dorothy just jumped back in at $500. Anybody else wants back in, it is $600. We got to keep this moving here tonight, my friends, so don't wait. Jump in, bid high, bid often. I'm Dorothy at $500. If anybody else wants back in, oh, looks like somebody else just bid. Yep, Dorothy's in there at $500. Anybody else wants back in at $600? I'm going to say going one time at $500. It's got to be $600 if you want to come back in. Going twice at $500, it's got to be $600. Anybody else back in? $600. KJ would love the wine there, but you gotta grab your phone and be bidding there, KJ. I'm telling you. I'm with Dorothy right there at $500. Anybody else wants to bid, it's got to be $600. Once, twice, third, and final call, and sold it right there. Congratulations.
All right.
We have another
Let's
winner.
hear it.
And we're halfway through our live
Yeah,
auction, Lucas. Nicely done.
absolutely.
Again, great bottles of wine. Thank you to our board for your generous donations there. And by the way, whoever won that, and I'll see that in just a second, parties at your house. Lucas and I
Yes,
would love to
exactly.
come join you and help you drink some of that really good wine, especially the Golden Eye Pinot. That sounds
Oh
really
my
good.
gosh, absolutely. We'll be sure to bring our masks, that's for
Exactly.
sure, so we'll come
exactly.
over. Great. Well, so our next item up for bid is actually item 104. So this breathtaking photograph, beautifully matted and framed to measure 40 by 30 inches, would look spectacular on any wall. And this piece is entitled Tornado Warning, and it was taken by local photographer Beth Savage. And folks may remember, you recall back to late last September of last year, Beth was headed out to one of her favorite places in the Yolo bypass to take photos of the incoming stormy weather. And she stayed to take photos until the lightning got close, but you'll probably remember this vividly if you were around in Yolo County on that day. Soon after taking the stunning photograph, that major storm that we had spawned a rare Yolo County tornado. And I was actually happening to I was taking off from Sacramento Airport out of town, and actually happened to be taking off right just as that storm was coming over Yolo County, and it was unbelievable to see and this photo is just so beautiful. So Beth donated the photograph that was beautifully framed by Blue Wing Gallery in Woodland, and we'll let Keith take it away.
That's absolutely right, Lucas. And I remember that day as well. Again, we had some really interesting things to see over the last year or two here in Yolo County. I remember that day very, very well. And so my friends, obviously a lot of people might remember it too. And by the way, Beth's works are always favorites at the KVIE art auction. Yeah. Again, she just does, just really, really outstanding work. So much depth and meaning in that photograph. It's really, really exciting. So again, apparently a bunch of people think so. We're at $300 with Naomi, and then $400 with Charles, and then $500 with Joyce. So Charles and Naomi, you're out. If you want back in, it's got to be $600. Again, we're at $500 right there. It's got to be $600 if you want back in. Again, we're just at $500. Got to be $600 if you want back in. Again, $500 is the bid, $600 puts you back on top. Again, such a beautiful photograph. Again, this could go in your office, your home office. A lot of people's office is now their home office. Anywhere in your living room or really any room of the house. And again, what's neat is it's local. There's a story behind it. Again, you were around during that day. Maybe you remember that day too. What a neat way to kind of think about it and something to talk about and to think about a lot. So again, Beth's works are always so beautiful. Again, a favorite here in town. And again, we're at $500. If you want back in, it's got to be $600. Anybody can jump right back in. $600 puts you back on the top. Again, we're at $500. It's got to be $600. What do you think, Charles, Naomi? You want to jump back in? Now's the time. Again, don't wait, my friends. There's a little bit of a delay here, so if you wait, you could miss out. It's so simple. All you need to do is just click the 3 parallel lines up at the top, the little hamburger up at the top left of your screen. Click on all, and then go down to now we're on 104, photograph tornado warning. Our bid is $500, looking for $600. If you want back in, it's just $600. I'm going to say going one time at $500. If you want back in, $600 puts you back on top. Going twice at $500, again, $600 puts you back on top. I'm going to say last call, and sold it right there. Congratulations again. We have another winner.
Right, here we go.
Another winner. Fantastic. Someone's really going to enjoy that.
Oh, it is a beautiful photograph. So
fantastic.
Really, really enjoy that.
Really enjoy that. All right, let's move on. Just 2 live auction lots left, my friends.
Great.
Lucas, what do you want to sell next?
So this next item is a pretty typically popular, very popular item at the Bucks for Ducks auction every year. And this piece is entitled, now this is a mouthful, but it's quite a piece. The bird's eye view of the irrigation system of the Yolo Water and Power Company, Yolo County. And it's great for you history and water buffs out there. This beautifully framed map is 28 by 44 inches, and it would look great on any home or office wall or home office wall. It's been one of the most sought after items at past Bucks for Ducks live donation auctions, And this finely detailed reprint provides a graphic overview of Clear Lake and Cache Creek watersheds circa 1913. It was produced originally as a promotional piece to provide the investor with an understanding of the existing and planned irrigation system. This map lays out the main components of what today is the water distribution system maintained and operated by the Yolo County Flood Control and Water Conservation District. And this map, as it is every year, was generously donated by the Yolo County Flood Control and Water Conservation District. So thanks so much, Keith, and let's get to the bidding.
Absolutely right, my friends. This is always a favorite auction every year. Again, it's our second to last live auction lot. So if you've been wanting to bid, now's the time, my friends. Again, it's so simple. All you need to do, once again, is just go to the 3 parallel lines up in the upper left-hand corner, the little hamburger up there. Click on that. Click on categories and all. Just click on the all right there, and we'll take you down to number 105. Again, it's a mouthful. I'm going to say it again. Framed map, bird's eye view of irrigation system of the Yolo Water and Power Company. I kind of like these kind of historical maps and stuff.
Yeah,
Again,
that's very cool.
feels more like an office piece than a living room piece. But again,
Definitely.
your office or your home office, anywhere like that, I think this would look really nice. Particularly if you're, maybe you're kind of a, in an engineering firm or something like that, where you wanna act like you're smart and you could actually read this, something like this, and know exactly what they're talking about there. I'm sure Lucas can.
Yeah, well, it's pretty funny, actually. I actually have a copy of this map that I won several years ago, so on my office wall in my office. So, and it's quite the conversation piece. People come in and instantly are drawn right to it. So.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're right, and so other people think so as well. We have Linda bid, and then Dorothy, and then Linda's in at $500. Linda, you're the high bidder at $500. Dorothy, you've been such a great bidder tonight here. I'd love to sell you something if you want back in at $600. Again, we are at $500. It's got to be $600 if you want back in. Again, $500 is the bid. Back in at $600 if you'd like it. Again, perfect for so many different places in your house. Always a favorite at all of our auctions. Again, I think in an office, a lot of offices, this would be just a really nice addition. And again, it's on sale, my friends. Again, this is a $1,000 value. We're at $500 right now. So if you want back in, it's got to be $600. $600 puts you back on top. I'm going to say going one time at $500 if you want back in at $600. Twice at $500. You want back in at $600. Last call. Anybody else? Last call. And sold it right there. We have a winner. Nice. Congratulations. Again, I'll see who that is in just a little bit. Nice. That was our second to last lot there, Lucas. We just have one more lot left. What do you want to sell last?
One more. So yeah, so this final item up for bid this evening is item 106. And this beautiful piece is painted by Joseph Bellicera, and it will bring life and sense of calm to the winning bidder. It's an oil and mixed media painting on a panel which is 18 by 18 inches. It is titled Evening Glow Over the Causeway. And this is a part of the larger body of Joseph's landscape paintings that focus on the Yolo Bypass wildlife area. He says that this area is so fascinating because of its ever-changing geography depending on the seasons. And sometimes it's a landscape of rice fields, sometimes it's a completely flooded body of water. So in the sky over this area presents an uncommon spatial vastness and drama and light. And I think you take a look at this painting and you'll see exactly what he's talking about. So Joseph, of course, is a prolific and well-known artist, and he exhibits throughout the United States, and his work can be seen in many private and corporate collections, as well as public institutions, including hospitals, libraries, and colleges. And thank you so much, Joseph, for donating this piece to the auction. It's generous of you to do that. So this piece, of course, again, it is breathtaking, and it really could be yours with the right bid. So we'll take it away, Keith.
That's absolutely right, Lucas. Always a favorite at the Yolo Basin Foundation auction. And again, a lot of people think so. Look at that. We started with Peter, then Carol, Dolores, Marge, Dolores, Carol, back to Dolores, Carol. Dolores and Carol are duking it out. Carol right now is in the lead at $1,900. Dolores, you want back in? It's too large. Let's make the bid at $2,000. Let's round it up to $2,000. Why not? Carol, we're at $1,900. Dolores, or anybody else, if you want back in, $2,000 puts you back on top. Again, our last live auction lot of the night. Again, if you're not there on your system, it's so simple. Just hit the 3 parallel lines up in the upper left-hand corner, scroll down to categories and all, click on the all right there, and then you'll scroll down to number 106, which, as you'll see, is our last live auction of the night here. Once again, looks like Carol is still on top at $1,900. Dolores, what else are you going to do with $2,000? Again, won't buy anything these days. You got $2,000 with you. Now would be a great time to spend it. Again, we're at $1,900. It's got to be $2,000. Such a beautiful piece here. Again, Joe always donates just such nice pieces, and they always do so well at this auction. And that's why we're here tonight. Again, my friends, last live auction lot. We're just going to keep this open for a couple more seconds. Give Dolores, I think you're thinking about it, Dolores. Well, you don't want to be sitting around tomorrow eating your Hungry Man lasagna and drinking that pink stuff out of the box that you might have in your fridge and thinking, I could have bought that Joe Bellicera painting, but I didn't. You don't want to be that person. You want to jump in and bid right now. So again, Carol is at $1,900. Dolores, or anybody else, if you want back in, it's $2,000. I'm going to say going one time at $1,900. It's got to be $2,000 if you're interested. Twice at $1,900. It's got to be $2,000. Anybody else? Last call, last lot of the night, and sold it right there. Congratulations. We have a winner. I think it was Carol. We'll see in just a second who won that. But again, my friends, thank you so much. We've done spectacularly well in our live auction here tonight. We're going to keep our sound auction, and Lucas will summarize this in just a second, but we're going to keep our live auction and our fund and need, our special appeal. I want to see how we're doing on our special appeal right now, my friends. I'm going to go to categories all. I'm going to go to donate right there. My friends, we are at 18. We're north of 18,000 on our fund and need. Excellent. Let's get up to 20,000 tonight, and then I think in the over the next rest of today and tomorrow, we'll probably get to 25 or 30. So, but let's get to $20,000 here tonight, my friends. So again, thank you all for your generous donations. My name is Keith McLean. We'll see you again, and I'm going to turn it back over to Lucas.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Keith. Let's give Keith a round of applause for all his work. Thank you so much. So you are certainly excellent at what you do, and we are so appreciative of having you with us this evening. So folks, what a wonderful evening this has been. Raising money for the Yolo Basin Foundation's virtual education programs is so important, especially now during these times. So we'd like to again thank all of our sponsors and of course to all of you who've joined us this evening. And without your participation, we wouldn't have been able to raise the funds that we have, and our sincere gratitude goes out to all of you. So please be sure to take a look again at the list of all of our sponsors who've made this event successful as it has been. Their incredible support signifies the community's appreciation for all that the Yolo Basin stands for and what it does in our community. And just a reminder, one last thing, that our online auction and Fund a Need will stay open again till tomorrow at 5 p.m. So take a look there as well. And thank you so much again, and have a good evening. We'll see you all again at next year's Bucks for Ducks, and stay healthy, everyone. Have a good evening.